Hello, my name is Jimmy Vegas and welcome to this, the sixth in a series of video tutorials on how to create a platform game in Unity 3D. This episode we'll be looking at creating a script to take our player from the finish line here in our first area and teleport them up here to the second area or second level depending on how you want to play. We'll also be looking at adding some music in, different ways we can add some music, and we'll also add in another coloured tile to play with, and we'll build some more of the area up here to finish up on. Okay, so first off, what we'll do, let's take ourselves up here to our person, our player. Zoom in slightly. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to make this finish line a point of where when we touch, we immediately teleport to our next level. And to do that, in our assets, we have in materials, just here. If you remember last time, we created level 001 death. And that happens when you fall too far, you end up back here. We'll be using the same principle with this script to take ourselves to the second level. So to do that, down here, right click, go to create, and JavaScript. We'll call this script warp to level 002. Okay, double click to open. And as always, with code that we write, it opens up in MonoDevelop. And it'll take just a few seconds to open itself up and load. Okay, so we have our MonoDevelop opening just now. And as usual, when we create a new script, delete everything it already sets out for us. Excuse me. Okay, so if you double click over here on level 001 death, what we'll be doing is we will literally be taking the entire script. So if you select everything in this script so far, copy, head back up here to warp to level 002.js and Control V to paste, or you can right click and paste. It's entirely up to you how you do it. Okay, so here we need to change the game object tag, and we'll change that to let's put it as level 001 finish. Save that. That's all we'll be changing on there for now. And if we go back to Unity, up here, click on Debug. Oops. And you'll notice up here we have our target, although it has none at the moment. We can fix that in just a second. Okay, so like last time, the same principle applies. If we click on our finish line, just zoom in on it. So be careful not to click on our particle system, which is the finish glow. Make sure you actually click on the finish line itself, or you can select it in the hierarchy just here. Over here in your box collider area, make sure you have is trigger ticked. Now I'm not entirely sure if this is going to work. I think it should work, but if it doesn't, there are alternative methods that we can use. But chances are this will work. Okay, up here, if you remember, tag, it currently says untagged. Click down and click on add tag. Now you'll notice element 0 currently says level 001 death. We set that last time, so we can't overwrite that. we must put our new tag in element 1. And if you remember, what we've just put it as is level 001 finish. So here, type in level 001 finish and hit enter just to confirm. Now, if we head back out, click on finish again, where it's got tag and untagged, click the drop down menu again and click on level 001 finish. Okay, so now we've set up our finish line as the trigger with the tag that needs to attach itself to here. So our next thing to do, just like last time, is we need to take this script and drag and drop onto our third person controller just here. So now, once we've dragged on, if we click and scroll down in the inspector pane, we'll see down here is our level 001 death script. Our target set as respawn point. And down here is the script we have just written, which is the warp to level 002. The target is currently set as none. So if you remember correctly from the last tutorial, we set our target in the exact same spot our player is when we start this level. So we need to apply the same concept to our second level, which is just up here. What I'm quickly going to do is I'm going to quickly duplicate a few more of these blocks. Remember the good old Control and D, just to give ourselves a little bit more space up here. One more. Okay, like so. So I'm, in fact, you know what, I will give a little more space, just so we can move around a little more. I'm going to set this dead center square as our place we warp to. Now, there are two ways you can do this. You could, if you wanted to, drag this square in the hierarchy onto this target here. But the problem with that is if you decide to change your level around, you could end up moving this block somewhere else, which would effectively put your spawn point somewhere else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Game Object and Create Empty. Right click on the new object and rename. And I'll call this level 002 start. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drag it to where I want it to be. About there, I would think. That looks just fine, I think. Actually, no, it's not just fine. Good job I checked. It's a little bit too far out. So what I might do, actually, just to ensure it is in the right place, if you click on this here, and then take level 002, and drop it on just there, like so. And I'm going to zero out the axis. And then I'm going to pull it up slightly. That looks fine. And then I'm going to uncouple it. There we go. Okay, our next thing to do is to take this and attach it to our script on our third person controller. So if you go to third person, scroll to the bottom, and we've got target, none. In your hierarchy, take level 002 start and drop it onto the script. So when we press play now, when we go over to our finish line, we should teleport to level 2, like that. So when we fall, we've just fallen back down to level 1. Next episode, we'll look at either preventing that, or if you want to keep it like that, that's entirely fine. Okay, so it is a little bit awkward to get that just right on the finish line. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to change that slightly. It's up to you if you want to keep it as your, if you want to do it that way. It is entirely up to you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Game Object, and let's see, create other, and let's create a cube. Let's drag this cube to about there, and I'm going to rename this to level 001 finish. Okay, let me just move it up slightly again. So what we need to do to our finish now, if you want to do it the way I'm going to do it now, you don't have to, but if you are going to do it this way, make sure you untick is trigger on your finish line. So we just need to click undo that, and up here on tag, set it back to untagged. Now on this cube, align it where we want it on the level, which is about there, and then click is trigger, and then up here change the tag to level 001 finish. Next thing you have to do is, if we were to play this level now, we would see this cube. So we need to apply the same settings as we did to our death cube, which is just down here. So we need to untick mesh render. So now when we press play and head over to our finish line, we head straight to our next level, rather than have to kind of fiddle around getting it just right. Okay, so what we'll do next is, let's see, let's import a light blue coloured square, which is this one. Again, any assets we use is available on our website for free. Absolutely free, no need to worry at all. And all I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to put it on that square, like so. So I'm just going to make this level a bit more multicolored. It's up to you if you want to. You can use the same colors all the way throughout your game if you want to. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Absolutely no right or wrong way. So if we just copy, Control D to duplicate, and let's move this way a little. Create some over here. Okay, we'll leave that there for now. So we have a few nice colours. Okay, next thing we'll do, excuse me, is we will import some music. Now, I'm going to go up to the top and click on our character just here. But if you drag and drop this, which is actually an instrumental from a group known as the Vegas 7, they very kindly donated this particular tune to us to use for free. There's no copyright on this at all, so you're free to use this wherever, but please give credit to either me or to this group. It's an MP3 format if you choose to download it. You can use any music you want to, but if you do make an actual game to sell or to even give away free, you cannot use copyright material. You just cannot use it. You risk legal action from the copyright holders. But like I say, there is no copyright on this particular song. It is an instrumental of a song that they have made. So once it's imported, another couple of seconds. Okay, so with music, it will appear like this. Now, you can either, if you want to, you can attach it to any object in the game, or you can create a new object and have sound emanate from that. So in this particular instance, what I'm going to do is zoom in on our player, and because we want the music to sound wherever we are, what I'm going to do is down in the inspector pane, add component, audio, and audio source. So now this is added this just here. And music really is so simple. It is just a case of dragging and dropping onto audio clip. I'm going to tick loop so as the music repeats itself all the time. Make sure play on awake is awake. That means that as soon as the game begins rendering, the music will start to play. So I'm just going to turn my volume down a touch so it's not too loud. And then hopefully when we press play, we should hear some music. There we go. And that seems fine for now. Okay, so we'll leave this tutorial there for now. Like I say, you can use any music you want. It is very, very simple to import. I'm going to save this project. Okay, so in our next episode, it will be the last episode of this series. It is only a 7-part series. We'll be looking at putting the final touches in our game. We'll be looking at some GUI, keeping score, and I'll also show you how to actually build your game to distribute. So once that's done, that is the end of this series, and you'll take everything you've learned from here and use it however you want. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I do hope to see you in the final episode.